Protagonist Seat, welcome to Protagonist Seat. It's a good window. Alright, you're gonna edit in an actual jingle, right? I'm not gonna look like an idiot.
Yeah, no, I'll put in a jingle and I'll add that in after. That'll be easy.
Alright, cool, thanks.
Alright, welcome to the Protagonist Seat, a podcast with me, Alex, and my friend Ian here.
How's it going?
Where we're just going to talk about weekly seasonal anime, starting with the fall 2018 season.
Very exciting.
So, since nothing has aired just yet, we're just going to take a look at what's coming up and read some of the descriptions and see what we may or may not be interested in.
It's a good time for introductions.
Alright, so first up we have Goblin Slayer. A young priestess has formed her first adventuring party, but almost immediately they find themselves in distress. It's the Goblin Slayer who comes to their rescue, a man who's dedicated his life to the extermination of goblins, all by any means necessary. And when rumors of his feats begin to circulate, there's no telling what might come calling next.
I'm very excited about that one.
Yep, so this is the goblin rape show where goblins rape people and he kills the goblins.
From what you've told me about the light novel, I am very excited.
I haven't even read that much. I read a little bit of the first volume because everyone was like, yeah, Goblin Slayer, it's really it's crazy. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, it's very graphic.
And now we get to see graphic in motion.
All right.
Moving on.
Tensai Shitara Slime Data Ken.
That sounds like a hentai.
It does? Lonely 37-year-old Satoru Mikami is stuck in a dead-end job, unhappy with his mundane life. Like most anime protagonists before something interesting happens. But after dying at the hands of a robber, he awakens to a fresh start in a fantasy realm.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah, it's an isekai. I can't go a season without a couple of those. He goes to a fantasy realm as a slime monster.
Oh.
So that's the gimmick with this one. As he acclimates to his goopy new existence, his exploits with the other monsters set off a chain of events that will change his new world forever. So, he's slime monster, and I'm assuming there's going to be a bunch of girls that are going to really like the slime. Like, oh man, this is a really cute slime. I want to hug the slime.
It has some real interesting potentials for waifu wars, I'll tell you what.
You know what? That's probably it might be funny, it might be good, or it might just be the same trash. I'm hoping maybe it's going to be funny.
I'm hoping it's at least funny bad.
It's like, hey, we know this is a stupid premise. We're just going to parody it.
Exactly. Have fun with it. Oh, God.
Oh, have fun saying that one.
All right. Next, we have Seishun Buta Yaru wa Bunny Girl Senpai no Yume no... I think that's Minai. Wo Minai. There's a rumor about a mysterious phenomenon called puberty syndrome.
We're already going there.
Oh, this is starting real good. For example, Sakuta Azusagawa is a high school girl student who suddenly sees a bunny girl appear in front of him. The girl is Mai Sakurajima, Sakuta's upperclassman and also a famous actress who has gone on hiatus from the entertainment industry. For some reason, the people around Mai cannot see her bunny girl figure. Sakuta sets out to solve this mystery, and he spends time with Mai. He learns her secret feelings. Other heroines who have puberty syndrome start to appear in front of Sakuta. Oh boy.
That's a lot to unpack.
There's a lot of stuff there.
It's, for a lot of anime, if you just describe the plot, it sounds like unbelievable dog shit, but then a lot of them end up being good.
This does not sound like that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like it's going to be like that.
This does not even sound remotely close to that.
It is a comedy romance school.
You know, there at least 2 of those things are definitely in there.
Yep.
All right. Next up, we have Kishuku Gaku no Juliet. To love or not to love? Juliet Persia and Inuzuka Romeo are arch enemies. They lead 2 high school dormitories, the Black Dogs and the White Cats, from 2 rivaling countries. Both factions are dead set on defeating the other to gain control over the island they have to share. Beneath the feuding exterior, however, Persia and Inuzuka long for love and peace for their budding relationship. So, like, they're from 2 rivaling countries, but they are both also on the same island, I guess.
And it looks like they're all kids.
And it's Romeo and Juliet. We know how it ends.
Yeah, unless they decide, like, it's not gonna end that way because, they're like, they don't want to commit to the actual, like, they don't want to commit to the bard's work.
They don't want to commit to actual theater, and they're just like, we could do this better. Normally it does not go better. It does not do that.
Yeah, it's kind of the point of Shakespeare as a whole.
Yeah. You can just kind of leave Shakespeare.
Alright, next up is Irozuka Sekai no Ashitakara. Set in the city of Nagasaki, the story takes place in a world where a minuscule amount of magic remains in everyday life. Hitomi Tsukishiro is a 17-year-old descendant of a witch family who grew up with stale emotions as she lost her sense of color at a very young age. Feeling sorry for her granddaughter's future, Kohaku, a great witch, sends Hitomi to the past, or sends Hitomi past the year 2018. Through exchanges with her 17-year-old grandmother and her club members, the story follows Hitomi's growth as a person. Out of everything so far, that sounds it might have an interesting plot.
I think it could be. I do fail to see the connection between being colorblind and getting sent to the past.
Also, it said like she has stale emotions because she lost her sense of color.
I don't know if that means colorblindness or not.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think it could be neat, like, hey, got a little bit of practicing a little bit of magic with your grandma, like doing like Back to the Future hijinks, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of fish out of time scenarios. I think that could be interesting. I do enjoy those very, very much personally. And I don't want to fault this too much because I don't think that description was written by someone who has English as a first language.
Yeah.
Because it seems like there's some stuff in there that just doesn't seem to translate very well.
Yeah, it doesn't flow too good.
I think it shows potential. Hopefully it lives up to it.
As long as there's like at least 3 good shows per season, I'll be happy. Like, I didn't really like anything last season where it's like if there's like not one thing to grab onto where it's like it gets real tough.
If we get one, I would say that I'm a happy camper. Because, boy, last season was a little rough.
Alright, next up is Auriga Suki Nano wa Imoto Dakedo Imoto Janai.
Nice.
I'm quite proud of that. That flowed right off the tongue. Suzuka Nagami is a beautiful third-year middle school student who has excellent grades and is the student council president. She wrote a novel about a little sister who dotes on her older brother. Oh, it's going to be one of these ones. And the novel wins a light novel award. After they discuss the matter, Yu is one who debuts as a proxy light novel author instead of Suzuka under the pen name Chikai Towano.
So,
like,
he just kind of gets credit for her novel? That just sounds kind of crappy.
Yeah.
That's a mean thing to do.
Is it like a stereotype where, like, oh, someone's writing a novel about a little sister who's really into her older brother? It's got to be written by a guy.
Actually, that somewhat renewed my interest, even though it sounds like one of those shows that'll make me feel real bad and probably send the police to my door.
Yeah, I probably am not going to want to watch it. I'm probably not going to expect it to be good at all.
It doesn't, it's one of those things where it's like, ooh, deal with One-chan feelings. And you know what? I don't need any more. I went through that phase. I'm done. It's in my past. I don't need to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, we're not going to dig up that box.
Yeah, that time capsule can stay closed.
But you know what we can talk about?
Radiant. I'll take the victory on a short title.
The easiest one to say thus far, just Radiant.
Radiant.
Not Radiant ore wa go natsu suki wa imoto deku imoto janai.
I'm real glad. Let's dig into it, shall we? Seth is an aspiring sorcerer from the Pompo Hills area. Like all wizards, he is an infected one of the few living beings who survived the contact of the Nemesis, the creatures fallen from the sky that contaminate and decimate all those they touch. So right off the bat, we're getting into some serious backstory in just the description. His apparent immunity made him choose a path which seemed to him to be all the more appropriate, to become a hunter to fight the Nemesis. But more than that, Seth wants to engage in a quest that goes beyond the simple hunt for monsters. He wants to find the Radiant, their presumed cradle. Surrounded by a faction of sorcerers, he traveled the world in search of the Radiant, under the terrible eye of the Inquisition. So, more trope stuff. Aliens came and touched people and gave someone superpowers, so now he's got to use their powers to fight them.
At least I can kind of understand the synopsis, where there's some of those shows where they're just throwing so many pronouns at you, like just names and places, that it's like, I don't know what's going on.
This was clear. It told us exactly what we needed to know. We know this dude's name is Seth. We know that there's these things called the Nemesis, which might cause a little bit of issues with the Resident Evil team, if they cared, but who knows?
I don't know, copyright works weird over there.
Copyright law is just, it's a weird thing in general.
It's fantasy, and as magic, that could always be fun. Hopefully it's not one of those where it's just magic circle shows, where they create a magic circle in front of them and they shoot stuff out of it.
I'm really hoping it's something akin to one of my coworkers was telling me about I believe it is a Korean manga, if that's even the correct name for it, but it's called Tower of God or something like that, where basically everyone gets their own weird, unique power. And it's like everything else, where someone gets their weird thing, and it's like, this is the weird thing
Okay, so it's superpowers, not magic.
Yeah,
okay.
Hopefully it's something more akin to that, instead of just, I do whatever I kind of need to do to get out of the situation. Because that would be a little bit disappointing,
Yeah, that would be...
is a good way to describe
Imagine if, the one with, the girl and, her grandma, that's a magic circle show. They just create the circles and they shoot just beams and shit.
God. That'd
be a nice, unexpected twist.
She just all of a sudden just shoots magic circles at things. That would be a good situation for that, I would think.
Yeah. Next up is Ulysses, Jeanne d'Arc, to Reckon no Kishi. Jeanne. Ooh! During France's 100 Years' War with England, a setting that the Japanese seem to really enjoy for some reason.
They're big fans.
Montmorency, the son of a noble, immerses himself in the study of magic and alchemy at a school for knights. However, after France's defeat at Agincourt, the school is disbanded, and Montmorency, however it's pronounced, is forced to flee. While on the run, he meets a miraculous village girl named Jeanne. Yeah, so I don't want to judge it off the picture, but it looks like it's just going to be one of those shows where it's just an action fantasy that you forget about after like 3 episodes, and then you just drop it, and then no one ever mentions it again.
Yeah. Medieval high school kid meets
medieval high school dropout.
High school dropout.
Also, he learned magic at the Knights Academy.
Yeah, that seems a little odd. Shouldn't it go to like a
Magic Academy?
Yeah.
They normally split those two up.
It would make sense, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Alright, next is Conception. The story of the game revolves around Itsuki Yuge, a high school student who finds out on the day of his graduation ceremony that his cousin and childhood friend Mahiru is pregnant. Immediately afterward, Itsuki and Mahiru are taken to a magical world called Granvania. That is an escalation.
It's already a pretty big deal since they're in high school. Now it's like,
now they're just in another world.
They were taken from like a 9 to like a 15.
They're taken to a magical world called Granvania, which is currently being invaded by monsters. The only people who can fight and exorcise the monsters are the Star Children, and the Star Children can only be produced by the 12 Shrine Maidens of the Constellations. In order to defeat the monsters and return to his own world, Itsuki must father the Star Children with the maidens. Oh.
This is based off of a game, too.
This is based off of...
I want to know how the game works.
This is one of those games, isn't it? Oh, okay. You know, with a title like Conception, and harem is in the tags. It has the tag harem.
Magic harem.
It is a magical harem.
I don't even have anything to say about it. I think the only thing I'm thinking about right now is just, man, this is probably going to be like the longest episode of these just because of how many of these we have to read, but we're probably not going to watch.
I know.
I'm like, we're probably pick a solid 10.
Exactly.
With JoJo Part 5 already locked into one of those.
JoJo locked in, spot number 1.
And we'll get to that shortly.
Moving on from weird harem romance magic animes.
Pregnant romance magic harem action adventure.
Pregnancy, Star Children fighting demons harem anime. We've got Yagate Kimi ni Naru. Yu has always loved shoujo manga and awaits the day she gets a love confession that sends her heart aflutter with bubbles and hearts. And yet when a junior high classmate confesses his feelings to her, she feels nothing. Disappointed and confused, Yu enters high school, still unsure how to respond. That's when Yu sees the beautiful student council president Nanami turn down a suitor with such maturity that she's inspired to ask her for help. But when the next person to confess to Yu is Nanami herself, has her shoujo romance finally begun?
2 girls? What?
What?
Can that even happen?
Oh my god.
No show's ever done that before.
No way. Truly unique.
Yeah, that's for an audience.
I
don't think I'm specifically that audience.
It is for the shoujo audience. It even has a shoujo fan self-insert main character.
I believe it's pronounced shoujo.
Shoujo. Speaking of shoujo...
Yep, speaking of shoujo...
JoJo.
JoJo Part 5, which... Yeah, I'm not even gonna summarize it. It's JoJo Part 5.
It's JoJo Part 5. It requires no Nothing.
You know, all I want to know is, I'm like, are they gonna actually be able to use like a Prince song in it at like all?
Ooh, that would be real good.
Like, cause the end credits theme, they've had something. Like, you think we're gonna actually get something? Probably not though, because I feel like Prince licensing is always like.
Yes, he's another one of those artists that is real locked on with the licensing, especially since he is passed and now it's to his estate.
We'll get but we finally we'll get that piss drinking scene.
I know. All we need to do is hope that someone in Prince's estate is a fan of JoJo.
Yeah, normally we're not going to do sequels too much on this unless it's something specific, like JoJo.
Like JoJo.
And, you know, every JoJo part, it's kind of its own thing. Like, you know, you don't need to see Diamond is Unbreakable to understand what's happening in Part 5.
Yeah, it's, you know, you can just watch JoJo. JoJo. All right. So now we have Beelzebub Ju no Okinimesu Mama, which luckily has a short description. Miran lands his dream job with the Demon King he's always held in awe, but when his tenure begins, it turns out the Demon King isn't quite what he expected.
You know what? I actually like that description. It's like, yeah, I finally landed a job with the Demon King. Like, oh yeah, I got a job with the devil. Like, oh, great benefits, great company. I've been really wanting to work for them.
You know who I've always wanted to just get a real stable career with? Satan. You know, I did enjoy The Devil Was a Part-Timer. Hopefully this is in a similar vein, I guess.
Well, when it says not expected, I feel like that girl right there, that's probably the Demon King.
Yeah, she has, like, her buddy be like, oh, I am the Demon King, Beelzebub. And then she just comes out and she's like, yeah, I'm actually the devil.
That was another interesting show about, like, about some hero that goes to defeat the Demon King. Turns out that Demon King is actually, like, a woman. And then after, the show is mostly about them trying to set up a country, doing some farming and stuff. It's not bad or anything. I just don't really remember it. Gave me like a Spice and Wolf kind of vibe, but with like, yeah. I
can get a feel for that. Next up on the block, we have Ri-Rai-D, or Ari-Rai-D, Tokigoe no Dorita. The year is 2050. A young engineer named Dorita Ivane becomes famous thanks to his contribution to the development of the autonomous machine DZ at Rebuild, the manufacturing company founded by his father. One day, Dorita and his colleague Nathan discover a flaw in the DZs and try to warn their boss, but are ignored. Although Dorita and Nathan are aware of the danger, they reluctantly decide to put off taking any measures, and instead go to Nathan's daughter Mage's birthday party. The next day, after enjoying a peaceful day, Dorita and Nathan are suddenly attacked by unknown forces. At the end of the escape, Dorita falls into a cold sleep machine, and 10 years later, he wakes up to a devastated world in the middle of a war. While Dorita is attacked by a group of out-of-control DZs, he almost gives up, but recalls Nathan's last words. Take care of Mage.
I just like is this a plot synopsis, or is this like they accidentally leaked the outline of the first episode?
It's so long. I really feel like there's still a little bit left, but I do feel like this is just the first episode. Okay. Despite the harsh fate that has fallen upon him, Dorita sets off to seek Mage. Beyond the time we reunite, this is the story of a journey for hope.
That's too much shit going on.
There is too much.
That's way too much stuff happening. There is
too much things.
Like you give me a basic there's a guy trying to do a thing. That's it. You don't give me the entire
Don't give me the backstory on his friend and then tell me in the same synopsis
that he gets transported to the future, so it doesn't matter.
And his friend just doesn't matter anymore. Just I guess
because he's 10 years in the future.
It's like also I feel like I need to point out his name is Dorita, Derrida, but I felt like I kept saying Dorito. So that's never gonna come out.
If we end up watching it, we call him Dorito.
You know what? I agree. This is the way we do things.
All right, the next one, Gridman, or it's SSSS Gridman, but I'm just gonna call it Gridman.
Gridman.
Like a snake, like Gridman. It makes it sound like more like Squidman. Yuta Hibiki awakens with amnesia. You know, always a good start when it starts with something like that.
Saves on backstory.
Yeah, you don't gotta write it. Just, he has amnesia. You don't need to know anything else. Yuta Hibiki awakens with amnesia and the ability to see things others cannot. He first encounters a Gridman in the reflection of his friend Rika Takarada's computer, and it tells him to remember his calling. But Yuta doesn't understand what this means, naturally.
Neither do we.
Yeah, neither do we. Yuta and us are in the same boat. Later, in the distance, he sees an extremely large monster, but it doesn't move. It's only when Yuta gets to school that the two sightings make sense. A monster attacks, and the hero Yuta saw on the computer screen pulls him within the computer and transforms Yuta in the giant hero named Gridman. It sounds real basic.
Yeah.
Oh, but here's the thing. It's a trigger show.
Oh.
Which is like, yeah, it'll have a lot of style, but if you're going to go off of like anything recent, like, you know, Darling in the Franxx, it's like, hey, can you guys maybe not do anything with robots for a little bit?
No.
Can we take a break from that?
That answer is a direct hard no,
yeah,
apparently.
Let's just not.
Let's find another way to do robots, but in a way that's also what we've done before.
As long as they're not powered by butt sex again.
You know, it sounds like it's... I was about to make a joke that it's powered by hentai, but it is a trigger show.
The weird thing about most of these trigger shows, it's like, yeah, they reference, like, you know, Gurren Lagann and Evangelion a lot. Like, and they used to be part of, like, you know, like, Gainax. So it's like, it's weird to see people, like, when other, like, studios and stuff do it, it's like, yeah, it's the Ava reference, or it's the Gurren Lagann reference. They helped make that, so it's weird when you reference your own stuff.
Yeah. That's like, hey, remember this thing that's better than what you're watching? What if we just give you this instead?
Yeah, we did that, by the way.
You remember when we did something better?
Yeah, remember when you liked that other thing we did? Surely that'll make you like this thing. Next up is Tonari no Queue-san. The modern-day vampire comedy centers on a high school girl, Amano, who was saved from a strange incident by a vampire girl named Sophie Twilight.
That's subtle.
That is, yeah, that hurts. Maybe to the Japanese audiences, it's like, oh, I don't get it.
Yeah, I sure hope so.
And has been interested in her ever since.
Oh.
Akari, maybe it's just a friendship way.
Yeah, maybe.
Akari arrives at her house uninvited and the two start living together. Although a vampire, Sophie never attacks humans, but purchases blood and anime goods via mail and lives a modern life.
She is not only a vampire, she is a weeaboo. We have confirmation.
Vampire weeb.
Vampire weebs now.
Like, does she just, like, is it like a thing where you could just go online and just be like, hey, can I just get, like, some packets of, like, hospital blood?
I mean, that's even worse than in this very, very, very poor, like, D-movie ripoff of Twilight. The vampire just goes to a guy who is standing outside of a bloodmobile, hands him, like, $100 and is like, hey, can you just give me some blood? And the dude gives it to him. Like,
oh, he just hands it over?
He's like, yeah, sure, whatever, that's fine, and just hands over blood to this idiot. Oh, good
Like
Lord.
he just gives it to him.
Yeah, it sounds like this, except, oh yeah, we'll just ship some blood to this girl's house. What's her name? Sophie Twilight?
I feel like
Nothing-
if I worked at like, any like medical place and it's just like, hey, is that a patient that needs blood like sent to them? Yeah, the name is Sophie Twilight. I'd be like, no, fuck no.
Yeah,
That's going to a vampire fan club.
nothing wrong here. Everything is on the up and up, especially with the fact that they're selling blood through the mail.
I mean, like I don't know if that's a worse name than something like, like Alucard Nosferatu.
I would prefer something like that.
At least like that, like, it's got like, the vampire history to it, not
Sophie Twilight.
Twilight and then the lady that wrote it.
That's not good. That's no bueno.
That is not good at all.
So I'm going to move on to something that's hopefully not terrible. Ingress the animation. Since he was little, Mikoto had a strange power which enabled him to read the memories of objects he touched.
Wait, what does it mean? Like, this table. I know all the memories this table has had.
That's a very good question. Hiding his uncontrollable power. Hold on a second.
So anytime he touches anything, it just happens.
He just gets a flash of memory. That could actually be hilarious, because I'd imagine some stuff has some real bad memories.
Ironically enough, though, like the picture looks like this gritty, like,
It looks like a
cyberpunk,
cop drama.
yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Psycho-Pass a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like a Psycho-Pass poster.
But with weird object memories.
It almost looks like, did they put the wrong one in? Is this not what it's supposed to be?
I don't know. Hiding his uncontrollable power, he works as a special agent in the police force. Psycho-Pass. One day, while investigating an explosion at a laboratory that researches an unknown substance called XM, he sees a mysterious memory. Oh, now we get to see that memory.
Oh, yep. Can't just wait to the episode.
They gotta tell us. The memory was from Sarah's ring. Awesome.
Who's Sarah?
Yeah, that's a good question. Who is the sole survivor of the accident?
Oh, they answered right away.
We did jump the gun on that one. We got on up to that.
Yeah.
It was a sight of a person being swallowed into a red light and disappearing. Mikoto becomes embroiled in a massive conspiracy. The battle for XM, a material that could affect human mind, starts now.
You know, it makes sense he went into the police force, because if you have a power where objects just kind of show you their memories, you can just walk into a crime scene, touch the rug, and be like, who did it?
You know, it actually sounds overpowered. You could solve everything like that.
You just need to be in the location, or like have something to touch of where it happened.
Exactly, and then you see everything. I am a little curious to see.
You could solve like every like closed room like murder like mystery.
Yeah, I'm a little curious because it is based on a game, so I wonder how that features into the game.
Yeah, I've never heard of the game.
Me neither. So I think that one could show promise, because it's weird. It has a character with a weird enough power. It's got a mystery. It looks like Psycho-Pass, and I liked Psycho-Pass, so
I did like Psycho-Pass as well.
That's one for you. But next up we have something that I just can't. Release the Spice. However...
Spice spelled like S-P-Y-C-E.
Yep, it is release the Spice.
Spice.
Spice. Release the Spice. This series is about a girl named Momo who attends high school at the city of Sorosaki. However, she is secretly a member of Tsukikage, an intelligence agency that protects people. As a new member of the agency, she works alongside her colleagues, including her senior Yuki and her friends. Together they work to establish peace in the city. That is the most nothing description I have ever heard ever.
It sounds like a real nothing show.
You know, it really does. and it just, the poster or the image for it is just kind of generic short skirt anime sword girls in a warehouse, I guess.
It's a warehouse, or maybe they're in front of a building or something.
I don't know. It looks generic and nothing, and I hate the title. It brings me pain.
Yeah, because it released the spice, like spy, like they're spies.
Oh, that's even worse than just like spelling it a weird name. Oh, I hate that. Let's get away from that so I can clean myself of it.
And then another show is Gakusei Million Arthur, which has no description, but it's a JC staff show, so yeah, it's not going to probably be good.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Judging by the image, nothing about it looks good, unless it is good, and then we're wrong. Well, we'll hear about it if it's good.
Yeah, we'll hear about it.
And if it's not, this is the last time we'll talk about it.
Yep. See ya.
Zombieland Saga, which just sounds cool just on the name alone. And there's no synopsis, so I wish I could know what it was about. Because there's just a bunch of girls on here, and then some kind of weird fucking dog thing with one eye.
Yeah, I do dig the dog. I'm gonna throw in my sense into the pot, and I'm gonna say that is a zombie dog.
Hopefully, it is not some kind of like death game show, because I'm getting real sick of those. High school students killing each other. They have one where it's like I forgot what it's called, but it's like it's a high schooler death game, but with like a cannibal element mixed into it.
Oh, come on! This is too much. This is an oversaturated market.
Yeah, and most of them aren't even good.
No.
In fact, you know what? I don't think any of them are good.
I can honestly say I have not seen any that have been good.
Like, you get King's Game, which is entertaining, but nothing about that is even remotely, like, okay. It's not even passable. It's bad.
King's Game is fun because it's bad. Like, that will be for another day. King's Game we'll keep in our pockets for another day.
We'll make a whole video just talking about King's Game.
That it deserves its own thing. But next up on our list is Uchi no Maid ga Uza Sugiru. Having lost her mother at a young age, Misha Takanashi, a second grader with Russian blood, now lives with her Japanese father, Tsubame Kamoi, formerly a self-defense force officer. A self-defense
Yeah, the Japanese
force?
self-defense force is basically their military.
Oh, it's okay. In this case, Japan is the self. Because I was going to be like, hold on, why do you need a group of people if you're just going to be defending yourself?
That's the thing. It's like, anytime there's a problem, you look out for you, and everyone else, they're on their own.
It's just a group of people who go into dangerous situations and look exclusively out for themselves. But he is formerly a self-defense force officer. And comes... Oh, I get it. Tsubame Kamoi, formerly a self-defense force officer. This is not her father as I had thought. She comes to the house as a housekeeper. This is a home comedy where Kamoi, a hardcore lolicon... Oh no. Attempts to get near Misha as she tries to fight against her.
That sounds not good.
No.
That sounds like not good in the sense where it sounds bad, like it does sound bad, but it just sounds like not appropriate.
It
sounds like
that's no bueno.
No, the little kid said no. No means no.
No means no.
Someone better get a...
I mean, at first I was kind of like a little sold with like, all right, you got like you got like an army maid. There could be some fun stuff with that, someone tries breaking into the house and the maid does some crazy martial arts stuff. And then I read Lolicon and it just, that's when the show hit me. I felt it and I was like, it's not that kind of show. It's not. So I will now cleanse myself
Yeah.
of that thought
Moving on.
with Tsurune Kazemai Kuko Kyudobu. The archery youth story follows Minato Narumiya. Minato played Japanese archery in middle school, but after a certain incident, he ran away from the sport. In high school, Minato meets new friends, and together, as part of their school's archery club, they aim to win the prefectural tournament.
Nope, it's the Kyo Ani show, so get ready for it to be just it's the most beautiful show of the season. Every frame is just,
Yeah, and it's probably not really gonna be about anything.
I find that there are a lot of times, it's such a pretty show, but it's real dry, and it's just,
Hey, are you ready for the archery tournament?
No, because some forced drama happened, and now I'm unable to focus on my archery until it's resolved.
Oh no, we must help with forced drama.
No, I can't help him with his forced drama, because we had a falling out.
But power of friendship through resolution leads to the resolution of forced drama.
Cool, we watched the show already.
Exactly. And then they win the tournament. Or like they get second place or something stupid like that.
And then it'll be like, we'll come back next year and we'll do it even better because now we're all united.
Season 2.
All right, next up, Karakuri Circus. Masaru Saga is a 5th grade boy who aims to become a puppeteer. After Sadayoshi Saga, the CEO of the giant home telephone maker Saga, and Marushi's father passes away, Marushi inherits 18 billion yen.
Oh my god.
Marasu is targeted for his wealth and is saved by 2 people, Narumi Kato, a man who has studied kung fu and has a weird illness called Zonapa syndrome. Zonafa syndrome? Yeah, I think it's Zonafa.
Yeah, I think it's
Zonafa syndrome. And Shirogane is a silver-haired woman who controls the puppet Arukan. Harlequin, okay, in parentheses. I'm just going to call it that. Together, Marasu, Narumi, and Shirogane get thrown into various conspiracies by those who would try to steal Marasu's fortune. Basically, little boy's got the money, and he's got 2 bodyguards protecting him from the people trying to steal the money.
Yeah.
Sounds like it might be neat.
Yeah, I mean, based on the poster, the art style does look like it could be interesting. At first, I thought the tank top clad man with the large muscles and blue jeans. At first I was like, that's not the 5-year-old kid.
Yeah,
right?
I thought it was going to end up being the one where he transforms, but then I see him in the background. He's kind of hugging on to like the lady.
He's hugging on to Harlequin, and we don't have to have like another JoJo situation. As much as I love JoJo, Jotaro does not look like a high schooler at 6'10" and like broad as a bus.
Yeah, a half Japanese high school boy who
is just a walking tank.
Probably bigger than Joseph was in part 2.
I'm pretty sure he is bigger than Joseph. But I think that could be interesting. It shows promise.
Yeah, I think it's worth checking out. Okay, Sassou Jojo. October 2018. Girls who live in a provincial city perform a certain ritual.
Oh, goody.
The girls are in the Crystal Radio Club. It is an interest circle that Asuka Tsuchimiya, a girl known for her cheerfulness, started with her friends in her high school. The ritual was considered just an urban legend. However, with several conditions coincidentally falling into place, it stops being fun and games. It doesn't really tell me what's going on. Is this going to be a horror thing, or is it going to... Oh, action, school, sci-fi.
Sounds a little bit to me... Well, let's do a little bit of description detective work. Performing a certain ritual makes me think of like something akin to like a ghost party where high school girls do a ritual and then bad things happen.
Mm-hmm.
But since they're part of the Crystal Radio Club, I wonder if they somehow like summon an alien or something. You know, that might be where the sci-fi comes in.
Yeah, because it's not a horror, so
yeah,
it's not a corpse party situation, and it's original, so it's not based off of anything. So no one has any idea.
Yeah, this could really just go anywhere.
Yeah, I guess wait and see.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that it could go. But let's move on to Gakuen Basara. The Gakuen Basara School battle comedy parody reimagines the Warring States era warriors of Capcom's action game franchise as rival students in a modern high school. Date Masamune and Sanada Yukimura battle to replace Toyotomi Hideyoshi as the next student council president.
Oh, it's like a comedy of Sengoku Basara.
Yeah. That
I haven't really played the games, so it's like
me neither. So I have no clue.
It's for the fans, it sounds like.
Yeah, it is fan service, to use an industry term.
But not in like that way.
Yeah, not in that way. It's that other kind of fan service.
Like the actual way.
Yeah.
Alright, next up. Kaze go Tsuyoki Futeru. The Tokyo Hakone Round Trip College Ikiden Race, or Hakone Ikiden, one of the biggest university marathon relay races in Japan. The race is held every year on January 2nd through 3rd and goes between Tokyo and Hakone and back for a total of nearly 217.9
kilometers.
Yeah, that's using the metrics.
Metric system. If only we did too.
Yeah, make it easier. So I can look at them like, how much is a kilometer to a mile?
I'm going to do a little bit of calculations on my phone as you finish that. Do a little bit of research.
A friendship between two sidelined athletes helps them return to their beloved sport and build a team for a competitive long-distance relay race. Production IG is the one making it.
It is another sports anime.
It looks like boys who run.
Yep, in track suits. And apparently that comes out to about 135 miles.
Huh.
So that's pretty long.
Although for runners, it sounds like what runners would, normally do.
I mean a marathon, I'm pretty sure is. I don't know. I don't know enough about running. I don't like going outside. That's where people are, and I try to avoid those.
All right, next is Double Decker, Doug, and Kirill. No synopsis. Moving on.
I do like how one of the title characters is named Doug.
Yeah, Doug.
Doug.
It's like, Orewa Senpai no Doug.
Oh boy, this is a title. Mechs Toria. Mukiryoku Shonen Tobin no Naka no Shoujo. Reaching into my clearly well-spoken Japanese language repertoire.
We're on a roll with this tonight.
Mechs Toria takes place in a world where humans and monsters coexist. The protagonist, Yu, A lot of that today. A lot of people named you being the protagonists.
You know, it's almost like you are the protagonist.
You know, you never know. Yu is a healer apprentice and possesses the ability to tame monsters. In a quest to regain the memories of Merc, a girl confined in a bottle, the pair embarks on a journey. Well, it's based on a game.
Yep, it sounds like a Pokemon-esque game where it's like, collect the monsters.
Yeah.
Which I don't really care about.
Me neither. But it is kind of nice to see a main character be a support for once, instead of a DPS.
Yeah, not enough of that.
Next on the docket is Hinomaru Zumo. Ooh, this is a sumo anime. It is a divine ritual, a martial art, and a combat sport. It's sumo. A small new student, Ushio Hinomaru, appears before the weak little sumo club of Udachi High School. The words big and heavy are the rules to this sport, which does not fit this newbie any inch. But this guy goes and does what? Ushio and the small sumo club climbs its way up to the top. Spoiler alert, the goal is Hinoshita Kaisan, a title for the highest rank in professional sumo, equivalent of Yokozuna. A fired-up high school sumo tale. No retakes are allowed. So it's a sumo anime.
Yep, it is definitely that.
I give the description props for trying to directly engage me with stuff like, but this guy goes and does what? I don't know. Description? You tell me. And then it just kind of, I guess, spoils the whole thing. So I guess we don't really need to watch it.
You know what? Fine by me. Just axe another off the list.
You know what? Makes our job a lot more simpler. A lot simpler. I don't think the more was necessary. But whatever.
No, we can leave it there.
We'll leave that in. We'll leave that in the final cut. We'll
leave that more there. We'll let it sit there. That more is a part of us.
It's a part of our history, Someday we'll look back on that more and we'll be like, look at that.
Yeah, remember when we started and that was there?
Remember the more? First t-shirt, remember the more.
All right. Jingai-san no Yome. Hinowa Tomari is a normal high schooler until one day he's told that he has to become the wife of a mysterious creature called Canaan Oggy. This is the start of their newly married life.
What the fuck?
Let me read that again. He has to become the wife of a mysterious creature. Okay. And it looks like a sheep with the face of the, teacher from Assassin's Classroom without the smile.
That's... I have no words.
It is short form, so that's probably for everybody watching's, mental health.
Yeah.
Because everything about that looks just not okay.
It is a slice of life. Because, we can all relate.
Yeah, we can all relate being a teenage boy that has to become the wife of a weird sheep monster.
I am curious as to just what. Just straight up, just what.
It's something. I'm just gonna move on because I don't have anything else to say about that. That's just...
I can't think of anything else.
I'm just gonna see what people on the internet say about it later and just be kind of like, okay.
Yep.
Sora to Umi no Ada. The story is set in Onomichi, Hiroshima in the year 20XX. Oh, my favorite year. All the Mega Man games took place that year.
I know. I don't remember the Mega Man. I remember when that happened back
Every
in
year,
XX.
20XX. A lot of stuff happened in 20XX.
It's an active year.
It is an active year. No wonder this takes place that year. Fish disappear from the sea around the world, and only whales live in the ocean. I don't...
What?
I'm pretty sure it's the ecosystem works. The whales are kind of dependent on the fish being there, but...
Yeah.
The Ministry of Fishery decides to set up giant experimental universe fish tanks in space.
With what?
There's no fish.
The fish are gone.
The Onomichi Universe Fishery Union is established and begins to train space fishermen.
But what do they fish? All the fish are gone.
Female fishermen are in demand due to the strength of an equal employment law for men and women. That's a weirdly realistic thing.
It's too real. This space fishing anime is too real.
6 new female space fishermen are selected, and the story centers on supporting their growth.
Well, at least the writers are being supportive.
Yep. So I guess, yeah, there's no fish left. There's just whales. So you're gonna fish in space, and obviously because you want to make sure you don't get screwed on taxes for not having equal employment. There's a market for women in the space fisherman industry.
I still have an issue with where they get the fish, unless the fish just jumped into space.
Yeah, the fish decide to leave and go to space.
Goodbye and thanks for all the fish. It is a space fishing anime, which is something I never thought I would say.
Put that on maybe a number 2 spot right below JoJo.
And it's based on a game. What?
There's a lot of weird games over there that just don't show up over here.
Japan, give us more of your games.
Yeah, give me some girl space fishing.
I would totally play girl space fishing.
Is it a phone game? I'll get it.
I would get the shit out of that space fishing anime game. But we need to move on.
Oh, the next one. The next one doesn't look like it's meant to be aired on regular TV.
No.
Not with that image.
I said the other one sounded like a hentai. This one looks exactly like a hentai. Shudengo, Capsule Hotel de Jushi ni Binetsu Utawaru Yoru. The story centers on Minori, an office worker, and her boss, Hadano, who are constantly arguing with each other. I know exactly where this is going. There is only one way this has ever gone in any piece of media ever. One night after a company drinking party, Minori and Hatano are having their usual argument when, I lost my place because I had to scroll. They're having their usual argument when Minori realizes that she has missed the last train. They decide to spend the night at a nearby capsule hotel, but an incident forces them to share the same unit.
So those are the ones where it's basically like the size of like a coffin that you sleep in, right?
Yeah, those are real small. I have seen videos of people sleeping in those. It is basically a coffin you sleep in. And it's, just based on the picture, and it's...
Wonder what wacky hijinks will happen in there.
Wacky is definitely gonna be part of it, because holy crap. I don't think I have anything else to say about this. It speaks for itself.
Yep, and it's probably not one we're going to be watching anyway.
No, well, at least not for the internet.
It's short form too.
You only
need that 10 minutes.
It has the ecchi tag. Ecchi and romance.
Wait, how are they going to make a whole show based around this?
It's going to be a very long night at this capsule hotel.
Or does it just keep happening? It's just man, we got to go to the capsule tonight.
Yeah, eventually, they just start going to the Capsule Hotel just automatically. They don't even need weird situations.
They're just like, come on, let's just do our usual thing.
It's Capsule Night. Oh, it's Thursday again. So, I'm just... I'm gonna let that one lie.
Let that title. I'll give it an attempt. Dakaretai Otoko 1 ni odeserete imasu.
I think that was pretty good.
That was close enough. Some weeb can like come up and correct us.
Yeah, they'll give us a phonetic pronunciation. Takato Saigyo has reigned as the idol industry's most huggable for 5 years. That is, until freshman actor Junta Azumaya. Takato was always considered brusque, while Azumaya's smile is winning over admirers by comparison. The whole fiasco drives Takuto to overindulge in alcohol, and his actions catch the attention of the last person he wants to see. To his surprise, Azumaya uses this new info to blackmail Takuto for physical affection.
Oh.
I mean, it's
like that other one where it's like there's an audience for it. It's just not here.
Yeah. I mean, they're
That's a complex plot leading up to that, though.
It is. I mean, there's blackmail. It has twists and turns.
The most huggable.
Most huggable, which is pretty great. And I guess it's a widely sought after title because they are very obviously fighting over the numbers in the poster. Because, hoo boy.
Alright, moving on. Bakumatsu. Thank you for being a short title.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kyoto, Japan, the heroine meets a man who gives her a pocket watch, somehow leading to a tori in a shrine, and suddenly it warps her into the Bakumatsu period. In the world of where there is such a difference in importance of value, she tries to find a way to go back when she meets a man who has crossed time and says, I will live for you, a love story between the two blossoms. It's just the heroine. Yeah. The heroine meets a man.
Yup.
And it's Studio Dean. And, like, you know what I noticed? Like, there's a lot of isekai shows where it's like, oh, in another world. And there's also a lot of teleported to a specific time period in historical Japan.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, I'm in the Warring States period.
I mean, I guess it's good that they're sent back to specific periods instead of just like some random time.
Or just cliche fantasy world.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, you're in a place that functions a lot like every RPG you ever played. We even have levels and stats.
No one's ever transported to like, hey, now you're in the Stone Age. Have fun in Stone Age Japan.
I want them to do like an isekai where they get sent to another world. They're like, yeah, I want to go to my own fantasy world. And they just get slapped into Dark Souls. Like, there you go. Oh. You're in a fantasy world. Have fun.
That would be real good. I would totally watch that. Instead of this generic heroine meets man falls in love.
And, and Dean's never a, like, promising, like, you know what? It sounds generic, but maybe Studio Dean will give me something good out of that. They're known for that.
Exactly.
I'm still mad. Like, there's a lot of stuff to be mad at Studio Dean for. Like, I think the list is, like, quite excessive. I think the most recent thing is, like, the Junji Ito collection, where it's like, you guys, like, that still hurts in recent memory.
That broke my heart, man. I wanted to like that so bad, and it just couldn't pull through. Fuck off, Studio Dean.
Yeah, fucking Studio Dean.
Let's move on.
Alright. Sono Toki Kanojo wa. The story takes place in Fukuoka. You know, everyone I get that's just always set in some town that I have to fucking pronounce. And follows the love lives of 4 female protagonists as high school students, college students, and as working adults. It's romance slice of life. It is what it is.
It has a potential to be
good at what it is.
Yeah, a heartwarming slice of life romance. It's not my thing.
Maybe maybe it will be good. Maybe it won't. Only time will tell.
Yeah. But you know what might be good? I feel bad saying that without even reading the description of this, because you know what? It might not. We have Himote House, or Himote House, or however that's pronounced. The story centers on 5 girls and 1 cat, all living as housemates in Nakano, Tokyo. The 3 Himote sisters, Tokio, Kinami, and Kokoro, whose family manages the Himote House. Kokoro's classmates, Tai and Minamo, and the cat, Enishi. The girls live their daily lives trying to figure out ways to be popular, and they all, and the cat, all possess a mysterious secret power.
I was bored that entire one until the end, and now I'm just kind of like, I'm still bored, but now I'm like, oh, of course.
I was bored reading that. That was painful. I mean, some descriptions, they decide to describe the whole series. I don't think this one described anything.
It's just...
It gave us a couple names.
They want to be popular. They got a cat, and then they got magic powers, I guess.
They want to be popular with their magic cat.
And, yeah, it's whatever. I don't care. You can't make me care.
So, Gaikotsu Shotenin Honda-san. Oh, based on the poster, I'm already loving this one. The comedy manga's story centers on a skeleton named Honda who works in a bookstore. Hilarity ensues daily in his work at the shop's manga counter.
I'm already in. I'm already invested on board. Anything with a skeleton protagonist, immediately, like, I don't care what the plot is, I'm in.
You got me. You got me, Honda-san.
That's our solid lock-in at number 2.
I mean, just the imagery of, like, a skeleton with the apron.
Like, just working like a day job.
He just works like a regular job. That's great.
And they'll got weird people in the background. You got like a pumpkin head guy. Is that like maybe the Easter Bunny?
I dig the Easter Bunny. I dig Paper Bag Man up at the top. Oh my god. I love this cast of kooky characters already.
It's already decided. It's already good. I don't even need to watch it. We don't even need to watch it. We just
10 out of 10. Gaikotsu Shotenin Honda-san wins.
Oh, we're nearing the end. That's so good.
Nice.
Anima Yell. The story centers on Kohane Hatoya, a young woman who loves to be helpful to others. After she moves from middle school to high school, she becomes fascinated with cheerleading and starts a cheerleading club at her high school. Joining Kohane in her cheerleading activities is the experienced Hizume and Kohane's childhood friend Uki. It
is a straightforward sports cheerleading anime.
It is, yep, it's based after a four koma manga, so it's just a cheerleading hijinks.
At least it's not a romance, you know?
And it doesn't look like it's gonna be like, like, hey, they're cheerleading, but look at when they jump around and stuff.
it's not gonna be slow-mo opie vision. It's just actually...
It's not going to have a lot of plot.
Yeah. It is... Yeah.
All right, next, Kitsune no Ko. The series follows 16-year-old Hugh Lee, who dreams of becoming a popular singer. However, he has neither good looks nor the financial means to pursue his dreams. Hey, right there with you. So Hugh uploads his singing online using a fox avatar. It sounds... That is what it is. He does what most people do, where it's like, hey, it's really hard to be famous doing anything, so let's just upload whatever I do to the internet.
That's a little too real right now. I feel like...
It's getting kind of meta.
I feel like that's some weird meta commentary. But, like, ugh.
Yeah.
It is.
It is what it is.
I shrug.
I shrug as well. And we can skip that one, because that is a Season 2 of Ace Attorney.
Ooh, Ace Attorney. But we'll skip that one. We've got up here Hashiri Suzukete Yokatate. The story centers on Minato, who goes to an anime event that has a voice acting recital with a friend. He is fascinated by the talent of the voice actors, and he meets Chikako, who studies at the Suidobashi Animation Academy. The series follows the trials and tribulations of those who aim to become voice actors. That's some anime fourth wall breaking right there.
It sounds like, I think the name of the show is Shiro Bako, where it's like a show about making anime. Like all the characters work in the industry, so it gives you kind of like a, hey, this is how that works. That's probably that, but with voice actors.
Yeah.
I never really liked that show, so maybe. Who knows?
Maybe. I think it would be pretty cool to be a voice actor. However, I doubt the legitimacy of an animation academy. Something about that just doesn't ring true to these ears.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, Ken and Ken. Aoki Kageyaki. Aoki Kageyaki. All right, adaptation of Zan Yun Sword, a series of Chinese RPGs co-produced with Tokyo TV and several Taiwanese companies. Well, that's not really a description that teaches me anything about it. It's based off a game, and I don't know anything about it.
And the poster is...
just text.
Just text. Although the Zhuan Yuan sword, that is a Chinese name, and it has the demon's tag, and I'm trying real hard to come up with something.
Studio D, never mind.
Oh, no, trash it.
And I think that's basically it. Everything else looks like sequels, which that's good, because this ran longer than I expected at over an hour.
Well, once we kind of just trim down some of the fat, some extra pauses, I'm sure it'll bring that down a little bit. But, there was a lot of stuff on this list, and not a lot of us... Not a lot
gets me excited, but, I think that's usually the thing with every new season. It's like, nothing looks good. And then after you end up, trying a couple of shows and then just going, hey, some of these were better than expected.
Yeah, I really hope that's how it turns out. I'm really pulling for Honda. Because, skeletons that work at bookstores. How could you go wrong with that? Also, JoJo Part 5.
Yeah, JoJo Part 5.
I think, at the very least, that will pull the season.
But yeah, so we don't really have any structure for this show on how it's going to work yet. We were thinking maybe take 10 shows that we think we want to watch, and then give every show at least 3 episodes before we decide if we want to drop anything or not, and maybe swap something out for something else. Like I said, we no idea yet on the structure.
we'll kind of work that out as we go, figure things out as
This
it
season,
shakes.
this season's the experiment and throwing things around. We could change everything, like, next season. The winter season could show up and we'd be like, all right, we have a certain solid structure, rules. This is how it's gonna run.
We've got rules. Or we could just be like, yeah, we'll just like watch a couple of things and then fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us on this first episode of the Protagonist Seat. I'm Alex.
And I am Ian. I hope you all have a wonderful day.
And yeah, we're gonna go watch some anime and not enjoy ourselves one bit.
Probably not.
Not at all. We're gonna force ourselves through it. Alright, see you next time.